Hello guys, welcome back to Rice Tales. In this video we're looking at the 8th installment of the 50 situation line. We are looking at Carambi. Carambi. What is Carambi? It is a horror story. This is more a psychological horror story set in Canada and involves a research team trying to experiment on cheese because of the so-called myths like, can it induce nightmares when people just eat cheese and go to bed or something like that? And they sort of think, let's just make a cheese, infuse it with toxins and stuff, and probably just take a few people and then let them just go like lab rats, really, that sort of thing. And yeah, it's quite an interesting, bit of an interesting premise. I don't think I've ever done this before, actually. How did this come about, this inspiration? Well, to be fair, I've done that once, accidentally. I had cheese before when I went to bed, actually, and it was probably the most hellish, horrendous experience I've ever had. Really, it was absolutely horrendous. It was very nightmare fuel. The only imagery I can get out of it was a skull being dissolved into maggots. That's the only sort of thing that I can remember from that weird, horrific, nightmare-inducing experience. My God, don't do it. Whatever you do, if you don't eat cheese before bed, it's horrendous. It's absolutely really bad, extremely bad cheese. You know, how to tell you, you're going through like this weird selection of weird imagery. You are. It's like, oh my God, it's just bizarreness, really. So I thought I might make a story about that. So it's more, again, it takes some elements from Cube. If you've ever seen that film, Cube, about people just trying to get through this like mechanical cube and that sort of thing. What else can I think of? So you got a few random people. It's like just people who probably like maybe are like one's a winner cleaner. I can probably vouch for that. Just a few random normal people from whenever, and they basically get indoctrinated into this program. Of course, just to test this cheese out, and they basically end up in this large space, like a large warehouse type space with all steel walls and everything else. And what it does is it makes them to basically just like go through all the motions with this weird all three nightmare-inducing visions. Of course, it makes them crazy. It does. There'll be times like. Some of them haven't felt, the effects might wear off, then come back again, of course. And you could probably, and people will probably witness someone going actually really going mad or like screaming their head off or something, or trying to rip their eyes out, pretty much. That sort of thing. Like it's, like if the brain is telling them there was something on them, and they were really going insane, of course. Other times, you can probably say, like, the brain's telling you, it could probably. The brain's telling someone to kill this one person who probably looks like someone who they really want to kill or something like that, or someone to kill something, really. And it's like, because the brain's playing tricks. And well, on the other wise, like on the other side of this whole thing, because you've got the scientists just observing, just very much like, yeah, a bit risky and she's whatever. They don't do anything at all. They don't say, they can help, these people. They just sit there and watch, they're so expendable. These people, it's like, interesting. So it's basically expendable rat farm, to be honest, and they basically just given this toxin-induced cheese, they'll eat, well, sometimes like a normal block of cheese that is injected some toxins in and whatever. It's like, God, I mean, that's that could be something like what the Scarecrow could do in the comics or something, or make a childish version of a TV show or something like that. They could probably do something like that. Instead of like spraying fear toxins into people's faces, you could probably just inject some into someone's cheese or something. Sell it to like a distribution or something like that, make part of the food market or something. It's like, that might be a bit of a weird idea, but who knows. But the story itself, that's how it was really, because it came from a bad experience of eating cheese before bed accidentally, and thought, I can make a story about that, because you take your experiences and you just make it so, really. So that's it with Carambi, really. Interesting horror story, psychological horror story, just to bring up some bits and pieces, really. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Always. See you in the next video. See ya.